So, welcome to this live stream, and we're going to be talking about anxiety this afternoon, evening, and in particular, we're going to be looking at the root cause of anxiety, and once you know that, what you can do to actually heal yourself. So, so today I'm going to let you know the real reasons that people develop anxiety. And if it is something that you're experiencing, and it is a time when anxiety seems to be especially heightened at the moment, then I'm going to tell you about some ways that you can actually heal yourself from anxiety, the symptoms, and even at the root cause level. So anxiety has for quite a while now been the biggest mental health issue. We call them behavior patterns affecting people, really for quite a long time. And of course, in the current global environment, it's really going through the roof for a lot of people. So there's a lot more anxiety around than we've ever, probably in our lifetimes, seen before. So it is of course, there's obvious reasons why that's happening. You know, we have this massive global situation, and I'll cover some of the specific reasons as to why it's triggering anxiety so much in a bit. But I think we're seeing a lot of people's mental health really struggling at the moment, more so. And some people, of course, have been triggered into various mental health and emotional health issues maybe for the first time that they've been conscious of it in their life. And so, there's reasons why that might be. And there's also reasons why people who've already might have been susceptible to feeling more anxiety than normal. And at the moment, it's super intense time for them. So, whatever you believe or feel about what's going on in the world, it is an intense time where there are new and unexpected challenges for pretty much everybody, and that's having a big strain on mental health in general, and I think anxiety in particular. So what actually causes anxiety, and what can you do about it? Well, the first thing I want to say is, as with all health symptoms, from the perspective that I work with, it's not actually a case of something going wrong as such. It is the body is actually carrying out an intelligent healing response, or an intelligent, not healing response isn't the right word. It's more of an intelligent adaptation, and whether it's a physical symptom or a psychological symptom, as anxiety mostly is, but has real physical effects in the way that the emotions affect the body. So, it's trying to adapt. And what might anxiety be actually doing for people? What might be the purpose? Why would the body and mind be carrying out a pattern of anxiety? Okay, so what it is basically that it is, of course, a protective safety mechanism. And yes, in this case, with anxiety, in most situations, there are a few root causes for anxiety, but in this particular, in most cases of anxiety, there are two root cause patterns that are actually contributing to the anxiety, and this is having a subconscious fear of being, we call it frontal attack, and that can either be literally from a memory of being attacked, like could be punched in the face or something like that in the past, or it can be more metaphorical than that. Not everything's literal. It can be a metaphor, so it can be the fear of what's coming towards you, so the fear of the future or what might happen in the future, effectively. So that's the first part. It has to be some form of sense of being attacked, either literally or metaphorically, from the front, and a memory of that, which has then led to your body not wanting that to happen again and causing anxiety as a response. Or it's and the second part of the theme, which is really important to know, is that there's a sense of powerlessness and inevitability about it, so that this belief or understanding that you might not be able to do anything about it, and a sense of powerlessness, helplessness in the face of the future and frontal attack. So some examples of that. A literal example, if we're looking at someone who has been, for example, had a pattern of anxiety since childhood, it might stem from something like bullying. Bullying would be a classic example where you might have actually literally been punched in the face or attacked from someone coming your way and feeling powerless about it. So that's very literal. A more metaphorical one might be, if you're people my age might remember there was a lot on the news when we were growing up about things like nuclear war and the threat of coming nuclear war with everything that was going on in the Cold War. So that was the big fear story of the time, and of course that feels like something big coming your way that you might be powerless to do anything about. So those are a couple of examples of events, like shocking, surprising events that might have affected you and actually started an anxiety program happening. Now, if it might not always be big, specific individual events, it can be a theme in life where it's more of a drip, drip, drip of gradual things building up until you create a behavior pattern, an unconscious behavior pattern, such as anxiety. So in that case, it could be just a daily, perhaps bullying would be another good example of this, but you never knew when it was going to come, and it wasn't really bad, and the threat was worse than the actual thing happening. So there might have been an initial taunting and teasing going on, and a threat of being beaten up by a gang of kids down your road or whatever, and then you felt powerless about it, but then it got highlighted over and over again every time you walked past where they were, and then they were jeering and it's like throwing sticks or I don't know, whatever, these sorts of things. So that could be a drip, drip, drip there, where there wasn't one major event, but they built up over time. And I guess that could also relate to the one with the for fear of the nuclear attack and the news going on all about it, which would and that could have just been built up over months of watching those sorts of news stories and gradually getting programmed to be fearful of this thing that you're powerless over coming your way, possibly in the future. So those are examples from the past. But of course, if we think about what's happening now, we've got this really a bombardment of inescapable danger that we're being told about all the time. There's no running away, so you can't fight and flight. They are stress responses to particular situations, but at least they're responses where you either get out of a situation or you beat the situation through fighting it, and they are actually solutions. With the current situation, that it's a bit different because you are getting you're getting constantly told about this invisible thing that could be in your house. Your friends might have it, even though they seem completely fine. And so there's all this fear building up about something that might feel inevitable and that you might feel powerless over, and you've actually got no response to. So that could lead to potentially to this powerless, inescapable fear of the future sort of trauma coming your way as well. So yeah, so that's why even now people could be getting triggered into anxiety for the first time. And of course, let's think about this might be happening to children becoming aware of the current situation. This could actually be the shocking events that are leading to them developing anxiety, but it could happen to adults too who might not have had anxiety or felt that they were having over amounts of anxiety in their lives, and everything happening could actually start that process of this heightened vigilance, which anxiety in one sense represents. So so in a nutshell then, we're talking about the root cause of anxiety first of all, and it's basically events, themes in your life or beliefs of being attacked, this frontal attack, or feeling this sense of powerlessness. So how can you then, with this understanding, what can you do to actually heal yourself? Well, there are many possibilities out there. However, I want to talk about the ones that I know are consistently excellent, that they're things that you can learn, and they're things that I've helped lots and lots of people to use and help themselves to heal from anxiety. And by the way, all healing is self-healing. There's very few external things that you can call a cure. Healing is something that goes on inside your body, and while certain substances or practices or events or whatever can be catalysts for the healing, you have this incredible self-healing power, and you can activate it. And there's lots and lots of ways that you can do that. There's social ways, environmental ways, physical ways such as diet and exercise, energetic and emotional ways, which I'll go on to in a bit, psychological ways, and spiritual ways. And all of these things can contribute to your own healing from anxiety or any other psychological or even physical symptoms. But let's look at anxiety in particular. So how do you heal? Well, the first thing is that you need to have, I think more important than starting to dig around for the root causes, is have a management, have some way or some ways of managing the symptoms of anxiety, whether that's general anxiety going on, specific anxiety in situations such as health anxiety, or even things like panic attacks. And so there's three ways that I think are really, really good that you can use to manage symptoms. Breathing exercises, such as doing some counted breaths. I like heart math, quick coherence technique of breathing in for 6, out for 6 while visualizing calm. That's one thing. By the way, I've got a video on all of this stuff on these 3 exercises. So if you want these exercises, you can comment and I will get them sent over to you. So breathing exercises is a great way of getting out of anxiety symptoms. A technique of shifting attention, a sort of mindfulness type technique, can be really good. And one that I really like is where you engage all of your senses. And it's something like, what are 5 things you can see, 4 things you can
feel, 3 things you can smell, 2 things you can touch, 1 thing you can taste, something along those lines. And when you bring your attention onto all of those, of course, that distraction takes you away from the anxiety symptoms. And I've seen and know that a lot of people get really good results from that. And my favorite is tapping. So EFT tapping, and just tapping and connecting to the feelings in your body when the anxiety comes up. That can be incredibly powerful for your emotional management, and I highly recommend that. I think it's fantastic for the symptoms of anxiety, for either just being with them but being okay, because you're reminding yourself with tapping that you're in the here and now, and calming your mind, body, and energy system with the tapping. So those are 3 management techniques: emotional processing sort of tools, breathing exercises, distraction, shifting attention technique, and using your senses, and EFT tapping. Again, I've got another video on that, which I can actually send. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It's probably on my Facebook somewhere as well, if you want it. But then once you've got the management, so you are able to chill your symptoms down a bit, then understanding the root cause is the next part to actually really healing. And this is where you start exploring. Generally, you find what's going on, what you're anxious about in the present moment. You might feel that you don't know what you're anxious about, but there are ways. And again, EFT tapping and tapping techniques are brilliant for this, of actually exploring the feelings and then understanding what they relate to. But generally, you're looking for things from your past. So you're going to be looking for specific events, or as I said earlier, you'd be looking for life patterns around powerlessness and this frontal attack, or fear of the future, something bad happening in your future coming your way that you're trying to avoid. And you might be able to think of some of those things, even just thinking about that now. But if not, you can explore it. You can find ways, using EFT tapping, matrix re-imprinting, various different questioning techniques. Things like hypnosis, NLP work brilliantly as well, of course. But I really like tapping because it gets you, while you're fully conscious, to connect to these past memories. And then you're also looking for the themes. So it might be a drip, drip, drip thing, rather than a big, shocking, unexpected event where you felt all alone and isolated in the moment, powerless. So drip, 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 daily bullying, or daily, even unpredictable parents might be one, where you never know when they're going to be in a really bad mood or something like that. Or fear of being bullied, even if it wasn't really happening every day, but it just might have felt like it was happening, and building up a stronger pattern of anxiety. So, loads of different, it's different for everyone. There'd be different senses of what causes anxiety. I've had people, and they've had this dread that going back to boarding school coming their way, for example, which built a pattern of anxiety when they were younger. Along with that, it's going to be beliefs. So the belief systems around being powerless, around helplessness, around this fear of future coming your way, this frontal attack, danger coming your way, that the anxiety is basically trying to keep you safe from. And once you've uncovered the pattern, then there's loads of things that you can do to heal. Firstly, use techniques such as matrix re-imprinting, which is a tapping technique working with the inner child, where you actually help your younger self to be more resourced and deal with situations in a different way, but more importantly, understand them differently and change the beliefs that they're holding, so they no longer feel powerless. They no longer feel this danger always coming their way, and it just becomes you don't forget what's happened, but you put the stories in the past rather than them being something that's really influencing you in your life now. So going backwards and resolving things, very important.
Another one is becoming feeling empowered and less fearful in the present moment. So even with everything that's going on, you can use these sorts of techniques to develop more empowering beliefs about yourself, your life, and how you live, and so many different ways. Whatever is important to you, but as long as you feel more empowered, more less fearful of what's coming your way, or you sense might be coming your way, or whatever, and release those beliefs in the present moment, and then also connecting to the future, where you're without these patterns. So I always think that's really important to create a future life, be moving towards where you feel safe, secure, powerful. So there's past, present, and future healing, which you might already know the techniques to do this sort of thing yourself. You can find out about how to use these techniques. There's lots and lots of free resources, which I have as well. I can put a link to some how to use EFT tapping for self-help only, but I can offer a course at no cost for that. So I'll drop if you want that. Again, I can drop a link to that in the comments. Please comment tapping course if you would like that, and I will make sure that I put the link in there. And and then there's other things that you can do. There can actually be real life changes. So tapping and all of the psychological and emotional energetic processes are very powerful. But one thing that's really powerful is actually taking action that's not in line with your dominant beliefs about your life and danger and everything like that. And when you take action that's out of line with old beliefs, that really shifts the belief as well. And so starting small and then moving to bigger actions, but things like tapping can really help you with the procrastination and doing that. So so that's so really, once you understand the root cause, you know the patterns that you need to change, or can choose to change. And if doing that on your own with willpower is a possibility. Doing it with intervention techniques like EFT, matrix reimprinting, absolutely fantastic. And there's plenty of resources for that. But if you are, if you like any support with actually finding the root cause of anxiety in your life, then you can drop me a message or comment in the comment stream, and I'd be very happy to have a free chat with you, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, about what might be going on for you, and actually a plan that you could have so that you can start to live with less anxiety. And I just want to say that there's many like symptoms, physical, mental, emotional conditions that my people that I've worked with, they've had excellent self-healing results from them, and I've published several case studies that you can see in my blog. But anxiety is the one where it's very, very clear to quickly see shifts, and pretty much everyone that uses tapping and uses meta-analysis to find the root cause of anxiety gets to feel much less anxiety, or even, I won't say no anxiety, because actually anxiety is something that everybody has in some degree, but it is, I see I've gone all dark here now. The sun was up a bit ago, now it's on its way down, so sorry if I'm looking dark and mysterious. Hope it's not too scary. So you can use tapping techniques and understanding the root cause. You can release excess anxiety from your life, and I really am very confident that you can do that once you understand the root cause and apply these techniques. So if you're curious about that and you want a conscious discovery call about your anxiety and create a plan on how you can actually heal your own anxiety, all at no cost to you, just get in touch, either a message or a comment, and I will let you know how to arrange that. I'm waiting. I'll just summarize again. The root cause is going to include powerlessness, a sense of powerlessness over something, and it's most likely going to be around something that feels like it's coming your way. So a frontal attack, either from your fear of the future or literally being attacked. So just remember that you can book a free call with me where you can basically you can get some more understanding of what the root cause of your own personal symptoms might be, whether that's anxiety or anything else, and we could look at a plan on how you could actually heal yourself from that.